Good morning, everyone. Today we are here at the very famous, very big Elkmont Campground in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. This is the biggest campground in the Smoky Mountains National Park. Probably will break this up into two different videos. Due to how big it is, it will take a long time to walk through all the different campsites, all the different loops. And it's 10:53 a.m. right now, and I need to switch campsites soon. Checkout is at noon, and check-in is at 1. So I only have about an hour to film right now before I need to switch campsites. I am lucky that this first day I've got a great campsite along the creek, and I'm parked right next to a friend of mine, a couple that I met last year at this campsite. I will be changing spots to another campsite just a few away from them, but this campsite fills up rather quickly. Alright, here on the left when we first come in, this is where you stop off, check in, talk to the rangers if you need be. Have to wait for another car to go by. Okay, there's a bridge over that creek to the right that leads to the loops G through N. And then you keep going straight to go through loops A through F. On the left here is just some parking. There also is a bathroom up here on the left. There are no showers in this campsite. There are no showers in any of the campsites in the Great Smoky Mountains and the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. Unfortunately, there are no showers. Then on the right, we have the camp store, plenty of firewood, even have ice cream. As we go this way, there's a split up in the roads. Takes you to B through F to the right, and section A to the left. So we'll stick with it. We'll go through A. We'll try to do this all in chronological order. First up on the left is campsite A3. It is a handicap spot, a disabled spot. I'm gonna have to pause it for a second, because Lola's trying to sniff everything. As we keep going, next up on the left is A4. Another handicap spot. The handicap spots are paved. Then on the right, are campsites A5 and 7, and which are walk to tent-only sites down there along another little creek. Nice little spots. On the left is A6. Then after that, on the left is A8. On the right will be A9 and A11. Two more tent-only sites you walk down to along the creek. After that, on the left, we have A10. Followed by a trash bin. Then on the left, we'll also have the bathrooms and a little wash area. Wash area isn't just a sink to wash your dishes and whatnot. After that, on the left, we have A12. Then on the right, we'll have A13, which is a nice, A13 is a very nice spot, pretty secluded. That one of the better spots as far as privacy and surrounded. After that, on the right, you'll have A14, similar to A12, kind of by yourself. Good spot. Got the tiny little creek behind you as well. Then on the left, you'll have A15. And on the right, A16. Then on the right, the road does meet up here, but A17 will be just adjacent from it. And followed by that on the right is A18. Then the left, with this nice little yurt, has a hot stove and everything, really cool, is A19. Then on the right, we have campsite A20. Another little trash container on the far side of the camp along the main road. Then along the right, we have campsite A21. On the left, campsite A22. On the right, we have campsite A23. On the left, campsite A24. Then on the right, campsite A25. Then on the left, we'll have another handicapped spot with A26. Then on the right, campsite A27. Another trash container on the left. On the right will be campsite A28. And that will be all for the A loop. We'll keep going. Here on the left is the bathroom again. This one does have a water fountain, drinking fountain that does actually work. I notice in all the campgrounds I go to, it's very rare for the water fountains to actually work. We'll see, and along this road brings you back to the exit and entrance. We'll have to circle around to get to start to the B loop. So I'm just gonna pause it right here, and we'll pick back up from basically from the entrance again to how you get to the B loop. All right, as we're walking through the campsites, we do have a pair of wild turkeys here. Small groups. I've seen some. Oh, there's more. If you'd see them, I'd see about 4 or 5 more back there, closer to the bathroom lake. I've seen some big groups of turkeys in here. Oh, one just balked. This here is in the bee tent only section. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7. I think there's 8. A couple I can't see behind the tree. There's at least 7. Yeah, I see 7 of them. Lola doesn't seem to care. All right, that's the great thing about camping. Come across nature, and I love it here in the Smoky Mountains. See lots of wild turkey, lots of deer, but at this campsite I haven't seen too many deer. At the Elkmont Campground, I come across usually just as the sun's setting. There'll be huge groups of elk right along inside the campground sometimes. That's an amazing thing. All right, again, we're back at the entrance here. This time we'll go through and bring you to the B loop. We just had the A loop. I guess now it's time to go through the B loop. Again, at this first little offshoot to go to the B loop, you keep going straight or left, depending on how you look at it. Well, I guess left will be a turn out of here, so keep going straight. Morning. Morning.
Good morning.
All right, again, here's the campground store and concession on the right. Firewood, drinks, whatnot. Just had to stop there for a second. On the left will be the bathrooms, little wash area. Just had to stop for a second. A couple people wanted to say hello to Lola, and she was happy to talk to the people. Very nice people. Okay, again, this is where the road splits up. We'll have to go to the right to go to the B loop. The B loop starts up right away. First on the left here is campsite B1. Then we'll be crossing over a little creek that runs through. This creek goes down and not too much further, meets up with the main river. I'm sure it's probably called the creek also, that the campsite is on. That'll be on the right for the first part of this loop. Here on the right also is campsites B2, 3, and 4, which are tent-only sites. There's the parking area for it. And these sites are great because you have it's almost like a peninsula where you got the main creek on the one side and you have the little creek flowing into the main creek on the other side. It's a great site, great camping sites, tent-only sites. Okay, then as we keep going along the loop, we have campsite B5. I morphed together the words loop and route to call it the roop or the loot. Sorry, speaking is not my forte. Next will be campsite B6, also on the right. And all these back up to the main big creek / river I've seen some trout in there. I've never been able to catch any. They've just been little. Next up is campsite B7. After that, on the right, we'll have campsite B8. On the left, we'll have a trash container. Then on the right, campsite B9. Then after that, we'll have campsite B10, which happens to be the campsite my buddy and his wife are staying at. I'm right next to them, but that's C1. So I'll have to pick that up another section. Besides, I'll be changing campgrounds today. I was only able to get C1 for today, and I reserved it months and months ago. The campsite's all full. Unfortunately, tons of people reserve spots and never show up, which ticks me off. I saw lots of great spots along the creek and stuff yesterday that, nobody showed up to, and the reservations were still made, so it's not like they were open for somebody else to get. I don't like it when that happens. It's unfortunate. Here's campsite B11 on your left. A nice campsite, other than the driveway has a big decline, but it's a nice, very private spot. Yeah, I don't like when people make reservations and don't show up, because then it's unfortunate other people that want to camp here can't camp here because it's all sold out and full. But there's dozens of spots that were wide open. Next up will be B12. That's actually where I'll be switching to. This is where I'll be camping for the next 3 nights. Then on the left, we'll have B13. On the right, we'll have a trail that brings you to the bathrooms and washroom to wash your dishes and whatnot. On the left, we'll have campsite B14. Then on the right, we'll have campsite B15, which does have a cool Alto trailer, which I always thought were cool. Small, and it lifts up in the back and lowers down, so you get better gas mileage when driving. I think, such a cool little trailer. And I'm gonna cut through on this little trail to the bathroom right here to make sure. Okay, no, that's not a campsite. I was wondering, because the numbers kind of changed there. All right, so we keep going. This is where the B loop hooks back up with the main road around the campground. First up on the left will be campsite B16. Followed on the right by campsite B17. And then that little tiny creek that we showed earlier, that comes through right here. Next on the right, we have campsite B18. Nice spot along that little creek. Okay, then we get to the fork in the road here. On the right will be the tent sites and the B loop, the tent only sites. But first we'll stay going straight, go to the left to go through the spots with driveways, and then after we go through this, we'll come back around. I'll pick back up at that fork and we'll go to the right to show you the B loop tent sites. First up on the right is campsite B19. Then on the left here, we have campsite B20. And then that'll be it for the B's here, because now we're back into the A's. Okay, now we're back to where it forks off. Like I said, to the left is just campsite B20, which does have a driveway, so you can park your RV or trailer there. And as we keep going, as we go to the right down this loop, this will be the walk to tent sites. They're very nice sites for walk to tent sites, nested in the woods, so you get a lot of nature. As I crossed by here earlier, there were 7 wild turkeys just walking around at the end of this B loop here. Hopefully they're still there, so I can get it on this video here. If not, I took a video of them. I'll add it to the end of the video. Okay, and this is where the B loop tent sites go. This first one here is B21. See, that's the sign for B21. This is the parking area for the walk to tent sites. Next up will be B22. Just up that hill. Followed by site B21. B23. Then on the left here, we'll have a trash bin. Ooh, a new one. That looks brand new. As we keep going, we'll come up to more of the walk to tent sites. First up on the right will be site B24. All the parking for these sites right around here. Oh yeah, the turkeys are still there, right by a tent. See if I don't want to scare them away. See if I can see some turkeys there. Hard to see, but there's some right there to the right of us. See if I can get closer without spooking them away. Oh, there goes one running. I guess I'm not good. I see 3 of them right there. 4 of them. I'm sorry, 5 of them. No, 4. Just looking at us. Oh, there's still 2 more back there. 3 more. Okay, yeah. Say hi to the turkeys. Oh, car coming, sorry. There goes the turkeys. Oh, there are 4 here. So a group of about 8. One thing you gotta love about camping is seeing stuff like that. All right, so next up, picking back up, we got campsite B25. Further up along that path, we have campsite B26. Then the bathrooms, washroom, a bear box, B27 up there. And that one there is B28. More of the parking spots. Little water fountain. I doubt it works. Then on the left, another trash bin. Okay, then on the right here, we have the rest and final of the B loop. Walk to tent sites. You see that one's B32 there, B34, B33 up there, B29 back there, and B35 up the hill there. Very nice tent sites. Again, and then that will bring us right back to the entrance/exit. Where next we will loop around to go through the B loop. We'll go through the C loop next. All right, hello everyone. We're back at just past the main entrance by the campground concession area, ice cream store where you get firewood. This time it's time to show the campsites at Campground C, at Loop C. I guess I have an interesting little story to tell about yesterday. I did switch campsites yesterday from C1 on the water, nice great campsite, to B12. Which is right by the bathroom. Then I went out fishing, got skunked, but I didn't really fish too long and I wasn't in a good spot. And I got back late. I guess right before I got back, there was a bear running through the campground. They had to take care of the bear, catch it, relocate it to a different area, not too close to here. It was a female bear. But the other interesting story is, so when I got back, my chair and my stool to step in my van was all missing. And since it was already dark, I couldn't really walk around and look and shine lights, but I had a good idea of who took it, because when I was walking around, I saw it, and there's a big group of people, and they were looking around kind of suspiciously. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you got to go right back at that sign to get to the C loop. We'll go a little bit further before we get to the C loop. Lola, we're not stopping to sniff everything. And yep, this morning as I go, they were already gone, but they left everything outside. Yep, sure enough, there's my chair and my stool sitting there. I'll be talking to them later about that, asking them, and you can hear every excuse in the book. Oh, we thought somebody left it there, and of course they didn't look at the sign that they have to have, and everybody has to have, that you post, that you have to post on the at your campsite. That says, your last name, the campsite, the day you'll be leaving. Yeah, they clearly didn't look at that and see that, oh yeah, they'll still be there. So it'll be interesting hearing their story of why and how they're innocent, and it was just an accident, of why they took my stuff. They'll play the blame game and this and that, and the worst part is it's a group and they had a bunch of little kids with them. Maybe the kids, ideally to me, it's the kids took it and told their parents, oh, somebody must have just left it there because they were too young, dumb, and naive to not check the signs, and the parents were too young, dumb, and naive not to check the sign to see that, yeah, it is a campground that's occupied. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes, but even in that situation, it's right by where their campground is. It's about 30 yards away. I mean, if I was the parents, I'd still say, are you sure? Are you sure? Let's make sure it's not somebody's that you took by accident or essentially stole. But anyway, here we go. Instead of going to the left down section B, you keep going straight. We'll start with section C. Here's the first campsite. This is C1. Again, nice. This one has a good long driveway. You can fit pretty much any size RV and trailer here. It backs up to the river. That is C1. That's where I was the first night. I actually met the people that live there, that are staying there now. Super nice. This is C2. Another nice campsite. I've talked to the husband and wife staying here. Super nice people as well. His name's Rick. I'm terrible with names, I don't remember, and I believe her name was Sherry, but I probably forgot it. Next up is C3. Not PO, just C3 without the PO. And then to keep going, we'll hook around left here. Which is interesting. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even notice it. We just passed it on the left, right across from C3 is this campsite C4. We have a car coming by, so we'll get off the road and let them pass. That is campsite C4 right there. All right, Lola, let's keep going. And as you make the left turn, the first one up on the left will be C5. I'm assuming right here might be a creek after heavy rain or something, but right now it's dry. It hasn't rained here in a while. All the water levels are low at fishing too. That's why a spot I went to, which in what was that? March, I did really well at that spot. But when I went there yesterday, the water was super low, and I was like, oh, this isn't gonna be good. I only fished there for about an hour. I had a couple hits from tiny things, but they were just nibbling on the little worms I was using. I'm sorry, on the right here was C6. But yeah, I didn't catch anything there. It wasn't a good fishing day, but I knew I wasn't gonna do good there. We'll go with C8 first, just before C7, because it is just sooner. This is C8 on the right. With nice Echo RV. I've always liked those. Those are pretty cool RVs. On the left here is C7. As we keep going on the right is C9. Oh, look at those cute doggies, Lola. You cute little dog barking at Lola. I don't think Lola's deaf, so she can't even hear that. Then on the left here is campsite C10. Then it hooks back up to the main road that loops around the campground. On the right is campsite C11. Then there is a nature trail that goes back through here. I've hiked this before a few times. Goes back up there, and then there's cool things to visit up there. Don't ask me names. I forget the names of everything. I should say on the left's a trash bin. On the right is the infamous campsite C12 I was talking about that took my chair and my stool. Yeah, and left their fire still smoking. And there we go. And that will be it for the C loop. As we keep going this way, it'll round back up to the front in the beginning. So we'll pause it here. And next we'll go, after we come back, we'll be starting at the D loop. All right. All right, right now we're picking back up. We're on the main loop that goes around. This right here is the veer off to the left is to go to the rest of the B campsites. On the right will be the start of the C campsites. And we'll just keep going forward, show you where the D sites begin. Sorry, just stop and talk to them on the bikes. His bike this tire needed air, and I was telling them that I have an air pump if they need be. My van was right there that I'd help them out, but they said their campground isn't far and they have an air pump, so they're just gonna go back there. All right, so as you keep going straight past the C loop that we just passed, we'll be coming. We'll just pull off to the side. We gotta let a car pass. We started with the D loop. As you can see, the first one on the right here is D1. Oh. That van did pull off. This first site here is D1. Another great site along the creek. On the left here, we'll have another trash bin. Another one where it is kind of weird out of order, but I guess they're trying to keep the... Oh, no, I was going to say try to keep the odds and evens on the same side, but that's not work. Next is D3, which is on the right, along the creek. And on the left, we'll have D2. As we keep going forward, on the right we'll have D4. It is interesting how they do the numbers here. How some are by just area and some it's not. On the left we have D5. It's a better shot of the open area down to the creek. Next up on the right we have D6, which is on the creek. D6 wasn't occupied yesterday, wasn't occupied today. I'm assuming this is somebody that reserved and didn't show up, because I would have loved to have that site for last night and tonight and while I'm here, but people love to do that. Love to reserve campsites, then just not show up. First up on the left will be campsite D7. And on the right is D8, small driveway here at D8. My van would fit. Bigger RVs is certainly going to have a problem there fitting. Next up is D9. It's a double handicap spot. I do see an electric box there, but it is locked up. I'm not sure if it's accessible and usable, with bathrooms in the wash center just beyond that. On the left here, we have D10. On the right, we have D11. I wonder if that electric spot is open, because I can use it, the disabled pass. I am disabled, so it's... I'd love to have that if the electricity is usable. And this is D12 right here on the left. We're just passing right now. As we keep going around the loop, this is where it meets back up with the main road that drives around. On the left side here, we'll have campsite D13. And on the right across from it, we'll have D14. D14 is a pretty nice big site. We do have a road up the hill and back there a little bit, but it's not much traveled. It leads to that little old town kind of thing that nobody lives there, but it's a place to go hike to and see. And that is it for the D loop. All right, so next thing we'll do is we'll pick back up from where the E loop begins. All right, now we're picking back up from where you veer to the left to keep going to the section C. On the right, as we just passed by, on the right is where D begins. As we keep going, we'll arrive at the E loop. After the E loop will be the F loop, and that'll be all the loops that are on this side of the creek. There are several more loops and campsites on the other side of the creek. It's a very large campground. Oh, and just as that's funny, 2 minutes ago I was talking about D6, and here's D6 is arriving. Lucky sons of a guns. They got a good spot. I shouldn't say lucky. They had to have reserved it early, probably 6 months in advance. So I shouldn't say lucky. I should say smart. Smart and prepared, which I was not. All right, we'll pause it just now and let them move in. All right, as we're going here, sorry, this car is just, they're pulling into the D6. I guess for a big long trailer like that, tricky spot, I guess, to get into. I wouldn't know. I'm not not real experienced in towing a trailer. All right, now we're in the E loop. First up on the right is site E1. I'm gonna have to move out of the way for it. Nope. Okay, that car's not passing. They're going down the D loop. First up is E1. Nice spot right on the creek. That's a good spot there. I imagine they'll be coming later today, whoever's got that spot. That's a great spot. Lola wants to go towards the bathroom. Next up on the right is E3. Like I said, I've actually stayed at this spot before last year. My father and some of his biking buddies came to meet up with us. Then on the left, we have E2. This is another one of those interesting ones where E2 starts after E3. And it keeps going like that. Next up on the right is E5. No actual driveway here, just a pull-out site. Then on the left, we have E4. Then on the left, we have E6. On the right, E7. Small driveway in this one. My van would fit. Actually, I remember did have a reserve, and they said that my van wouldn't fit, but it definitely does fit. Yeah, the length of driveways on the rec.gov app. All right, so on the left is E8, also the trash container. I love those Intech trailers. They're so cool and futuristic looking. I love that big front window. On the right is E9. All right, and then here, the E section continues. You have to go left. As I was saying, the problem with the rec.org app and website is a lot of times the length of the driveways they have and what will fit and won't fit is not accurate. Because I've seen a lot of times that they'd say things, oh, yours won't fit, and they say it's only like 15-foot driveway, and you get there and it's like a 40-foot driveway. So it's best, sometimes it's best to look around first, but that's also why I'm making this video, to help prevent that from happening. Here is E11 on the right, good sized driveway. Then on the left will be E10. Like I said, that's why I'm making these videos, is to help you guys be able to see each individual spot. Because like I said, a lot of times, here's E12 on the right. A lot of times the information on rec.org isn't accurate. And then on the left we have E13. It is a handicapped disabled spot. As you can tell how well it's paved. Next up, on the left, we have campsite E14. Just after E14, we have the bathrooms and the little washroom. The little washing sink to wash your dishes and whatnot. And here's a little pathway to lead you to the bathrooms. And here we have the E-loop meets back up with the main with the main road around. Just have to join back up. The first campsite up will be campsite E15. As you can see, that's a big driveway too. Could fit virtually any size RV or van that you, van, trailer, whatever you want or have. Next up will be campsite E16. Another one, plenty of driveway space. And there's just across from that, on the left is the trash container. And then on the right will be the last of the E loop. And that is campsite E17. All right, and that's it for the E loop. We're gonna stop here, pause here, and we'll pick back up from the F loop. All right, now we're picking back up on the main road that you first drive through. We're back at the E section before it veers left and goes to the rest of the E section. We will continue going straight, which will bring us to the F loop, which will be as I said earlier, this will be the last and final loop of this side of the campground. The other side of the campground, the other side of the creek, will be what I believe is the G through N loops. I said yes, this is a big campground. Biggest campground in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. It's got a lot of draws to this campground too. Very close to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. All right, now we're coming up to where it veers left to finish off the E loop. Where you'd keep going straight to stay on the F loop. In the past, I've stayed at a lot of the campsites here on the F loop. I stayed at almost all of them that have been that are on the right, that are on the creek. I think I have stayed at all of them that are on the creek. All right, so first up here, as we went straight to finish up the F loop, is campsite F1. Nope, no F1 race cars here, just a campsite. On the left is F2. Then on the right we have F3. On the right we have F4. Sorry, on the left. I think I said right. On the left is F4. On the right we have F5. Sorry about saying left and right. I'm somewhat dyslexic. I mix up those things all the time. Oh, look at that, a cute little kitten in the window. Oh, that's so cute. All right, now as we keep going, on the left, we have the bathroom here. There's a washroom. Next up on the left is F7 campsite. This one does have a relatively small driveway on a decline. I'll fit my van, but a lot of bigger RVs and trailers won't fit in there. Then on the right, sorry, I missed that, will be F9, I believe, right? Or F10. Oh, I'm sorry, F6 on the right. I can't even hold my count today, but yeah, I've stayed at this site. That's actually the first site I ever stayed at in the first time I came to Elkmont. We're gonna have to pause it for a second because Lola's on a sniff quest right now. Sorry, I had to stop and say hello to a couple of cute little doggies. I'll show them leaving there. Cute little doggies. As we keep going up, get out of the way. We got a truck coming through. Lola doesn't mind us getting out of the way. I'm surprised. She likes to sniff. She's sniffing the air right now. Look at that. Up. Your foot's tangled up. Go. Pick up your foot. There you go. Good girl. All right, let's keep going here. We'll be coming up to next to is F8, which I've stayed at this campsite many times. I love this campsite because it is somewhat secluded. It's along the creek. There's a little bridge there, a trail that leads up to there. Makes it easier to get back to that area I was talking about earlier. There's a few hiking trails up there in the old little town that used to be up there. Oh, I'm sorry, and this is F8. It's a big area too. The cool thing about that old town up there is last year when I was here, my dad and some of his biking friends came through and we went up there, and then there was I guess somebody rented out that old town area and there's another truck coming through. So we'll wait up this side while I keep telling you this story. And somebody had it and was having a wedding there. And they had food trucks there and stuff. And I was thirsty, so luckily I was able to get some drinks and a little snack before we went back to, before we hiked back. Actually, we didn't even hike back from there. We went down a few more trails. One trail, I can never, like I said, I'm terrible at remembering names. That's part of some of the injuries I've had from the car accidents and 2 comas I've been in, and yeah, I've done some damage to the head. But yeah, there was a trail that we were hiking, a long trail with a big creek along the side of it that I've wanted to go back and fish that, but I have no idea where it is. I know you can get to there from here and what the name of the trail is, and I've asked my dad if he remembered, but he doesn't. Anyway, here's F9 on the left. But I've wanted to go there and fish and hike that one again, but I haven't found it. I've gone to a few trails which weren't the right ones, and it is what it is. Eventually one day I'll find it again and do some fishing there. Hello, this is F10 on the left. But yeah, because that trail looked like it had great fishing, a big creek flowing down, and that's what I love, hiking and fishing while hiking. You know, hike, and then you see a spot that looks good fishing, do a little fishing, spend a little time, half hour or so fishing, then get back to hiking. Here's F11 on the left. So eventually I'll find that trail again. Unfortunately, I'll be leaving here in 2 days. Tomorrow I'll be going into Gatlinburg to fish. And here's F12 on the left. This one does have a small driveway and an incline to the driveway, so it's not exactly an ideal spot if you're in a small van or camper. But yeah, I want to find that trail and hike it in. It's a good, decent length trail, and it's easy to hike. But I want to hike it and fish it. Eventually, I'll come back here. I come back here all the time. I love the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, so I come here all the time. Here's F13 on the left. Nice little campsite. But yeah, eventually I'll find that trail again, because like I said, the fishing looked good on that trail. Oop. But I'll be back here soon. I mean, I spend months at a time here in the Great Smoky Mountains, going to all the different campgrounds. Anyway, that was it for the F loop. That's it for this side of this campground. Next thing we'll pick up crossing over the little bridge where you go right from the main entrance to start with the G loop, the G through N. I'll actually be filming those either later today or tomorrow, because Lola seems tired and bored, probably wants to get back to the van, have some food and drink. Alright, well, hopefully this video, guys, is helping you guys out to decide which campsite to stay at this big campground. As I say, there's hundreds of sites here, so it can be hard to choose. And hopefully this helps out the people that want to come here this time of year when you have the beautiful changing of colors of all the trees, and it happens so fast. It's 2 weeks ago, everything was green, not even a little bit of yellow, and everything already is turning yellow and orange and then red. All the leaves the colors change so quickly, and then in another 2 weeks, all the leaves will be completely gone, the trees will be bare. But again, like I was saying, hopefully me showing you guys these campsites will help you out, help you decide where you want to go if you want to come here this time next year, because these, I mean, you got to reserve them 6 months in advance, because in the October month, all the Great Smoky Mountain National Park campgrounds fill up almost instantaneously, 6 months in advance. At least if you plan on staying here at any one spot for more than 2 days, yeah, they fill up quick. Luckily, if you're in a van like me, that does have its bonuses where it's easy to just switch spots. It takes a minute to pack up and just change spots. So the good thing is you can hop around from spot to spot. But it'd still be better if I just go to register for a good spot 6 months in advance, and so I can have that same spot for a week. Because I don't like staying in one campground for more than a week. I'm too much of a, I guess, like almost too much of like a gypsy. I like to keep moving. All right, everyone. This is it for right now. We'll pick back up heading over to the G through N loops soon. All right, we're back here at the check-in, the little Ranger outlet. I don't know what you call this. It's not a campground store. The campground store is ahead, but just the Ranger office where you check in. This time we'll be going to the G through N loops. And to start, instead of going straight here, just after the check-in, you'll be going to the right, crossing over the creek that runs through the campground. As you can see on this signpost here, that gives you the directions. A through F is to the left, or keep going straight, and G through N, you make a right, and head over this bridge. Here's the creek that runs through the campground. The water's very low right now. I'd imagine 3 weeks ago after Helene that water was probably pretty darn high, but when I was here in March it was very high. But yep, it's very low today. Haven't seen any trout even hanging out here, which I usually see. All right, as we keep going forward, we'll come to a stop sign. And at the stop sign, we'll go right. That's where the G loop is. There is a trail straight ahead that brings you up to the amphitheater. I've walked through that amphitheater at mornings and walks. It's always fun. I always see, usually every morning when I walk through there, I see a bunch of turkey and deer. All right, and as the sign shows you, they'll show you the G through H is to the right and the J through N is to the left. So we'll start by going to the right, going to the G and H loops. Speak of the devil, first thing, there's 2 turkeys sitting there. They're climbing up and away from us, getting back into the woods. But I guess all those hits to the heads, again, is my soothsaying. Lola, watch out.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could hear the turkeys still walking around. Can't see him. Oh, now I see him. Camera wouldn't be able to see him, so it's pointless showing him. But if you look through there, you can kind of see where the amphitheater is. That's the stage area. The seating is behind that. or I guess in front of that, behind that from this angle. All right, the first thing we see here on the right is just an additional parking area. Come on, Lola. Why do you want to go to the left so bad? We gotta follow the directions one way. Lola really wanted to go down the left-hand side there. Lola might be a little tired. With her, I've already walked her more than 3 miles today. I already did a trail too, so I'm already well over 5 miles, and this is just after noon. It's 12:30 right now. We'll do a couple more trails today because this will be my last full day here, so I'm going to try to get a total of 20 miles in between walking and hiking. Got off the road a little. There's a car coming up behind us. All right, and we'll be coming up to the first campsite very, very soon. G1 will be on the right up here. All right, and this is campsite G1 on the right. There is a little seasonal creek right behind it, but it's not going right now because the water's low. A lot of times the water won't be there, but just past that, it's where it meets up with the main creek running through. So just in the next 2 campgrounds, we'll be back on to the main creek. Here on the right is campsite G2. Campsites. I always say campsite and campgrounds and mix them up, but this is G2 right here. Followed up on the right by G3. And then they're back on to where the main creek that runs through the campground goes. It is a little steeper and trickier to get down to from here. Unlike the other side, the A through J loops, where it's just an easy walk right down to it. Then on the left, we'll have the bathroom, a little wash area. On the right, you'll have G4, which is a handicap spot. You can tell by the pave. And the handicap spots always seem to have a raised fire pit, which is interesting to me because that makes it even harder to get down to put stuff in and control the fire pit. Up next on the right is G5. Got a bike coming through. Just making the same circles. Then on the left we have G6. As we keep going up here on the right, we have G7. Then on the left, we have spot G8. Followed up on the right, G9. There is double parking here, but it's 2 small spaces. You could get a van and a car there, but a big RV is not going to fit there. Then on the left, we have G10. On the right, G11. Trash container on the left. Then on the right, we have G12. On the left, G13. And on the right, we have G14. On the left, we have G15. That's a cool yurt with the wood burning stove and everything. If you want, what we'll do too is real quickly, because no one's at this site, we'll just go down here, take a quick look at the water. Yep, it is a lot deeper over here, the creek. It's very shallow up on the other side of the bridge. Maybe I'll come here a little later and try to do a little fishing. But I've never had success fishing in this campground, and everyone I've talked to that I've seen fishing in here has been the same. They said they've never caught anything in here, never had a bite. Okay, and then as we go in here, as you can see on the sign, the G loop will continue if you go left here. And that's where the H loop will begin right there. So we'll be going left. First campsite up is G16. There's a double site. Again, not a huge driveway, but you can get a decent sized van, small RV in, and another car. Then on the right, you have the bathroom. As we keep going, on the left, you'll have G17, which is a little pull-out parking area. On the right as well, a pull-out parking area is G18. Then on the left, we have campsite G19. On the right, we have G20. Another one with a relatively small driveway area. And on the left, we'll have G21. The driveway is a good amount bigger here, about double the length of G20. So you can get for most trailers and RVs, it'd have to be really, really long not to fit there. Then on the right, we have G22. Another one, good size spot. And here the road meets up again, merges back in. On the right, we'll have G23. A decent sized area. I mean, you won't get the longest trailers and longest RVs in here, but most will fit. On the left, you have that bathroom we passed by earlier. Then right after that on the left, you'll have the garbage bin. As we keep going forward, next up will be on the right, will be G24. Good sized driveway here, backs up to the woods. The forest, I guess is the right term. But it'll be hard getting up there, it's very steep. And just a little further up next, we have G25 on the right. Again, this is G25. And up here, we're coming up to the final campsite in the G loop. And that is G26 here on the right. This one also has a pretty small driveway spot, so you're not gonna fit much in here. A small van should be able to make it. The longer vans will be cutting it close. All right, now we'll turn back around, go back through the G loop to get to the H loop. We'll pick back up right where the road forks and the H loop begins. All right, now we're back. We're coming right on up to where the H loop gears to the right. We got a car coming, so we'll hold up for a minute. Come on. All right, Lola, come on. All right, again, the G loop veers off to the left here, whereas the H loop begins right here as long as you keep going straight. First up is campsite on the right. It's campsite H1. Right side along the creek. It looks like it is a double site by the width of the driveway. Then on the left we have H2. There was a decline, or an incline, I guess depends on which way you look at it, to this driveway, but it is a relatively long driveway. You're going to fit most trailers, RVs in here, no problem, but again, you'll need your lifts on it because it is on an incline. On the left is H3, on the right is H3. That is a good length driveway, and that one is flat. It is on the creek. On the left is H4. Good length to the driveway too. A decline, but only a slight decline. Not too bad, but I guess some RVs and stuff will need a lift. On the right is H5. Another one with a good length to the driveway. After that, we'll have H6 on the right. And we have the service road, official vehicles only. All right, and then the loop starts hooking around. Next up will be on the left, campsite H7. I'm assuming this is H8 on the right here, but I'm not seeing anything. I think it's the campground host, but there's no host here right now. Yeah, campground host site, but no host here right now. Okay, then up next, will be on the right, will be campsite H8. Good length to that driveway. On the left, we have H9. Also good length to the driveway. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a decline. So you would need your lifts. Come on, Lola. Lola sees another dog. He wants to go play. I don't think she actually wants to play. Just wants to sniff. Up next, on the left is H10. With a slight decline, but a long driveway. And that backs right up to the bathroom. Then on the right, we have H11. Good campsite. Very slight decline to that site. Then on the left, we have a trash container. Following up on the left will be campsite H12. Good length to that driveway, as you can see. There's a slight decline, so you will need a lift. Not necessarily need a lift, but it certainly helps to have everything flat. After that, you'll have H13, which is a handicap site. Apparently, yeah, the slight decline here too. With a nice Ford Transit Winnebago Echo. I do love those vans. I guess they're considered Class Bs, I believe, but might be the biggest you get, but I do like those. All right, and that'll be it for the H loop. Because here we are, where the G loop meets back up. All right, and we'll stop filming right here. We'll pick back up from where you go left after you cross the bridge, left at the stop sign, just past the bridge. And then we'll take you to that'll take us to the rest of the campground. Still several loops over on that side. Again, this is the biggest campground in Great Smoky Mountain National Park. It is just amazing how quickly all the leaves change colors, and then after they change colors, how quickly the leaves are gone and the trees are bare. All right, this is it from now. We'll be picking back up and filming. All right, we're back here at the stop sign, just past the bridge. As you can see from the sign, loops J through N are to the left. Right next to that is a trail to the amphitheater. Here we go. This road up here to the right will tell you you can drive to the amphitheater. It does skip from H to J. There is no I loop. I wonder why that is. I wonder if I is kind of like a floor 13 at hotels. I'm sorry. Yeah, to the right actually is the group camping area. I'll make sure to film that. I'll put that at the end after we get through all the individual campsite loops. To have a little walk before the J loop starts. I'm gonna have to pause. Lola's limping, so I'm gonna bring her back to the van and then I'll come back and continue. Well, that was interesting. Now she's not limping, and she did not want to go back. She was dead set on going this way. She loves going on extremely long walks that are usually too long for her, and sometimes I'll have to carry her back. And with one hand carrying her, she's only 14 pounds, but with one hand carrying her for a mile with one arm, my arm gets tired. Especially my bicep, forearm, and shoulder just gets tired. And it doesn't help that she hates being picked up and held. She has no problem sitting on your lap. She likes that, but she hates when I pick her up. But at 17 years old, it's impressive how good a physical shape she is. She can still jump up very high, jump up on tall couches, jump up in my van, and yeah, she's a physically impressive little dog, especially for an old girl. Come on, Lola. You gotta keep going. I was gonna bring you back, but you wanted to keep going. slow. It's going slow and sniffing everything. I'll pause this video. As you can see, it's still a ways down, and I'll start filming again just as we're entering the J Loop and where the campsites are. All right, now we're coming up to the campsites, the J through N area. As you can see on the sign ahead, you got to keep right. So we'll go right to where the J sites start. As you can see, first up here on the right is the K1 campsite, but we're going to the J's, so through the J's, you go left right here where it forks out to the left. All right, and the first one, J1, will be up here on the left. Good size site, just a slight incline. Next on the right will be J2. This is a pull-out site. Okay, and as we keep going on the left, the campsite J3. As you can see, that one's got a good sized driveway, good length. You can fit any RV or trailer in there. On the right, you have campsite J4. A little casita. I love those casita trailers. They have a good kind of cult group following. Come on, Lola. Come on. I'll pause it. All right, sorry, I just stopped to talk to a few people. They want to see my dog. We had a conversation. There's a little water fountain there. As I'm saying, on the right, got to say it, there is the bathroom here. All right, we'll keep going. To say Lola was happy. Lola's happy when anyone pays attention to her. Okay, up next will be the campsite on the right, and that campsite will be J5. Can't really see the driveway, but it is a pretty decent length. Yeah, all the leaves are falling down now, and it's hard to see, but it is decent length. Pretty much any size trailer and RV is going to fit there. It'd need to be super long to not fit. Next up on the right is J6. Another one with a good length to the driveway with an incline. Okay, and then as we circle around here, we'll be meeting back up with the main road that loops around. But these are still the J campsites that keep going. And the first one up on the left will be J7. Another one, plenty of driveway length here, and you can see a very slight incline, not much at all. Then on the right will be J8. And these ones go along to the creek. As you can see, that one has plenty of driveway length. It looks relatively flat in the back, a slight decline up front. Then on the left, we'll have J9. Good size length. On the right, we'll have campsite J10. Again, J10 will hook up to we'll be sitting on the creek. On the left, we have campsite J11. Plenty of length to that driveway as well. Down the left, you'll have the trash containers. Directly across from the trash containers on the right is J12. Another nice site along the creek. After that, on the left, we'll have J13. All these have good lengths. On the right, we have J14. It is a decent length, but yeah, there is quite a decline to that site. After that, on the left, we'll have J15. It's a good long driveway. Looks like maybe a very pretty slight incline, not much. Lola, of course, wanting to sniff. All right, here, and this will be the last one in the J loop. On the right here is J15. Good size site. But there is a pretty steep incline to that site. All right, this will bring us right back to the main road where we had to go right, veer right to start the J loop. See, there's the keep right sign. So this time we'll walk back around and we'll go through the K to the K loop. Good thing is the K loop gets started right away. You don't have to drive too far to get started on that one. The first of these, quite a few first of these, do back up to the mountain there. So here's the first site, K1. With the mount right behind you. Kind of like those sites, look nice. On the left, you'll have the trash can. Then on the right, you'll have K2. These all seem to have a pretty good length to the driveway. Next up on the right is K3. About to get out of the way. Got a car coming. We are right next to site K4. Not quite the K4 mountain climb. Oh, another car coming. Come on, Lola. Okay, we've got site K4 here. Then on the left, we have campsite K5. On the right, we'll have campsite K6. Look at that. A Tesla Cybertruck. That's pretty cool to see a Cybertruck out here. It's representing an RV park. Okay, next up is K7. don't see where you park for K7 though. That's pretty interesting. Okay, and the road does veer off here. We have to go left to keep going through the K loop. First up on the left is site K8. And we also have the bathroom on the left over there. Same bathroom that runs to the J loop. Next up on the left will be site K9. Following on the left, site K10. With the tent area and the picnic bench and fire pit off to the side. Then on the right, we'll have site K11. On the left, site K12. This is a pull-out side. Not a driveway, just a pull-out, but a good length for the pull-out. Shouldn't have any problem even getting 2 vans in that pull-out area. Oh, sorry, and I forgot to mark off what site this is on the right here. All right, and that's K13 on the right. There's a slight little driveway to it. Actually, a decent length. It's hard to see everything here with all the leaves. Oh, okay. We had a car coming, but they were pulling in there to the site K12 to the pullout. Have a little stagnant creek here. Looks like a little mosquito area to me. On the right, site K14. Very nice length to this driveway. And it looks pretty flat. Maybe a slight incline, but very slight. All right, and here it joins back up with the main road around. And that guy didn't go there. He's being annoying. Next up is site K15. It's like, should I get out of his way? I gave him a chance earlier and he didn't want to do it. And now he wants to do it. Yep, he's a kid, doesn't know what he's doing. Next up is the trash bin. Then on the right is site K16. My buddy did have this site reserved, but they canceled about a week before because they were able to get a different, better site. All right, and that'll be it for the K loop. We're coming back in right now to where the J loop loop goes around and meets back up. All right, so what we'll do here is we'll pause the video, then we'll pick back up from what I'm assuming is the L loop, but since they're missing the I loop, I can't guarantee there's an L loop. All right, now we're back to the keep right sign where the K loop and J loop begin. We'll keep going down this way. I know this side goes to the N loop. I'm not positive there's an L loop. So we'll we'll see what happens as we keep going. We will have to keep going straight on this road. It'll be a little uphill, and that's where we'll see whether there is an L loop or not. Just an update. Today I got back late. I didn't get to talk to the group and the family that took my chair and step stool to get into my van that Lola uses, and I was hoping to talk to them today because I think people like that need to be talked to. But I missed them. I went out early to go fishing. Forgot that you can't fish in Gatlinburg on Thursday, so I stopped that, and then by the time I got back, I guess they already checked out and were gone, which is disappointed. I wanted to talk to them. What made them think it was okay to take the chair and the stool? I mean, there was the marker already up on the post that said I was there. And even if I wasn't assigned there, it's what makes them think that's theirs to take. I mean, because to me it's the same thing. It's if somebody accidentally left it there, I wouldn't take it, because what happens if they come back to get it? I just don't understand what made them think it was okay to take it, especially when you have 3 kids there and they're all young. I would say under the ages of 7, and to me it sets a terrible example. I'd say they're my age. It's a problem with my generation. I guess the millennials. I'm 42. Is there's a lot of entitlement. A lot of people have. Because I more just wanted to hear their excuse for it. What made them think it was okay to take it? Because, like I said, I mean, everything should have told them that they should not have taken it. Come on. Because, like I said, I mean, there was the sign on the post that somebody was camping there, which goes till tomorrow. So I don't understand what made them think it was all right. All right, there is an L loop. Okay, so first up on the right is L1. Good length to the driveway, relatively flat. Maybe a slight decline. Not much. On the left will be L2. Long driveway and a big incline. You'll definitely need lifts to straighten out the van on that, or straighten out your RV on that. Followed up on the left by L3. Decent length driveway. Good area, kind of big area, kind of by yourself without campground. It's a good open area. Slight incline to that site. Then on the right we'll have L4. Come on, Lola. On the right will also be L5. Then here on the left is pull out L6. And as we keep going down this road up ahead, we'll be going to the left to follow up the L loop. All right, first up on the left is L7. Slight decline to the site. As we keep open, tiny little creek running down. On the left, we'll have L8. On the right, L9. Following down on the right is L10. Good sized site there. Might even be a double site. Here's a pathway down to the bathroom, some water fountains to drink from. Yep, that must be a double site because that's very wide. That's a good area. There's another passageway up there to another bathroom. Next up on the right will be L11. Then on the left, we'll have L12. That's a pull-out site. And we'll be going back past another tiny little creek. Not even seen any water in this one now. All right, and here it'll meet up again with the road. And I believe that will be it for the L loop. Yep, that's it for the L loop. So what I'll do here is I'll pause the video here. Oh, actually I'm not. This is L13 up here on the left. Guess there are a couple more L's. Kind of nice site here, L13. No neighbors too close. Then on the right, you have L14, which is a pull-out. I don't know if this driveway, but it does back up to the creek. Then on the left, you have L15. And now that's it for the L loop. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video here, go left, cut through the J loop, and go back to where the L loop begins and walk on so we can show you the M loop. After that, all we should have left is the M loop and the N loop. And then at the end, I'll show you the group campground. Let's get out of the way as the Tesla Cybertruck's driving through. What lucky timing I have to get a video of a Cybertruck. That is very cool. South Lake RV Park, look how cool that is. So much bigger than I anticipated. When I first saw it, it's crazy how fast that is considering how big it is now, how heavy it is. Those things weigh a ton. I shouldn't say a ton, more like 3 tons. A little over 3 tons actually, I believe, right? I believe it's 6,500 pounds. Something in my head is saying might have been 8,500 pounds. Either way, I know it's huge. Anyway, here's that little creek. I'll pause the video and we'll pick back up just as we're going uphill to where the L loop begins. All right, now we're back at the section just past where you go left to go to the K loop. I'm sorry, I cut through the K loop. We'll go back up this hill to where the L loop starts. And this is the main road that hooks around. What we'll do is I'm going to pause it here and I'll pick back up. Well, I guess I'll just keep it going because the J loop does veer off to the left here, not too much further ahead. And just after the L loop veers left, that's where the M loop will begin. And again, actually, we'll pause it. We'll pick back up right where the L loop veers left and the M loop begins. Okay, and as you can see here, we're now where the L loop goes left. Keep going straight, and this will bring us to the M loop. The signs all say section, or so I should say the M section instead of loop. Yeah, but just used some time earlier. I'm still disappointed I didn't talk to those people that stole my chair and little step stool. I did take it back from them, but nobody was there. And like I said, I wanted to talk to them, but didn't want to do it in front of the kids and at the campfire last night. So I was hoping to do it today, but they were gone before I got a chance, which kind of sucks. I regret then not talking to them yesterday because they need to be talked to about that. First up here in the M loop is Site 1. Good sized driveway, slight decline. Got a truck coming through, so we'll let him go. No, they're going straight. I guess they're going to the ends. And I'm disappointed that 2 nights ago that I got back to camp just like a minute after a bear was running through there, and they eventually had to catch it and relocate it. It was a female bear. Okay, here on the right is M2. I'm assuming this is a double site. I guess it's not. They just don't follow the rules where it's the one rule you have to be parked on concrete at all times. See, there's a trail left there to the bathroom and wash area. Lola's sniffing something out. Maybe she'll take another fake pee. Try going pee even though there's nothing, no urine left inside of her. Okay, here up on the left next is campsite M3. This one is a double site. It's a double site, but short parking area. I could fit my van in there, but that's about it. I think most vans would fit here. Yep, there she is. I didn't see a single drop. There's a nice little double site. Okay, and as we keep going here, it meets back up with the road that circles around. On your right will be M4, which goes up to the creek. Actually, and right there is the old used to be a little city area they can hike up to from a different way. That's where I was talking about earlier, where they were having the wedding last year when I was here. Actually, let's go take a look. Since nobody's at this campsite and it's not no reserve side, nobody's checked in, I want to see how the creek looks here. You can hear it a lot, but I imagine it's pretty narrow and a strong current. Yep, not too big. Not exactly a great place to fish. I don't too many little drop-offs or anything. I can't imagine there's many, if any, trout around there. Okay, then after we get back out onto the road, get out of M4, on the left you'll have campsite M5. Good length of the driveway, but pretty big decline. Or incline, I guess that would be. I don't know. I always bet. Anyway, on the right is M6. Another good one. Less of a decline or incline. Because I don't really know whether you would call it which one would be an incline or which one a decline. I guess that one's an incline as you're going up, going in, and a decline as you're going out. Usually you would back in. So I would say my van, if I was there, my van would be on a decline. All right, and that is it for the M loop. It's a nice short one. So then we'll cut across here, right here, which is the L loop. And we'll pick back up right where the L loop turns left, and we'll finish up. We won't go left with the M loop. We'll go and finish up with the N loop. All right, and here we are. Picking back up to the left. To the left right here is the M loop. So you keep going straight to bring you to the last section here, which would be the N loop or the N section, or as the sign says, section N. I say everything wrong anyway, so it is what it is. I don't like saying the wrong thing, but I guess it's just a habit of mine. Poor Lola. She's definitely over 5 miles for her on the day. I'd imagine she's over 6 now, haven't checked. Okay, and as we keep going up here, the road, as it's starting to loop around, I see just ahead, I do see N1, which will be on the left. Just before we get to the first campsite in the N loop. Tiny little creek going through here. It is running, but very little water. You can see more of it here. Okay, so first up here on the left is campsite N1. Not a very long driveway. An incline and slanted left, so not ideal for vans or RVs or trailers without lifts to flatten you out. On the right will be N2. Long driveway. There is a incline to it, but it levels off towards the back. But if you have a long RV, you'll definitely be on an incline. Next up on the right will be N3. Also on a pretty big incline. Then on the left here, we have N4. This one is pretty flat. That looks pretty darn flat, that one. Decent length driveway. Huge trailers won't fit in there, but most RVs and trailers will fit there. Got the garbage bin on the left. The creek running right through here on the right. On the left, we have campsite N5. Again, Rocky Creek on the right. On the left, we'll have campsite N6. Good length to this driveway. Slight decline, but a good length. Then on the right, we'll have campsite N7. Good length of that driveway, and it looks pretty flat. Yeah, that looks good and flat. That's a good spot around that creek. You do see like the little hall of that old town area, which I'll be hiking up to a little later. All right, and that's it for the M loop. We now have caught back up to the M's, and that's it for the N loop. That's it for all the individual sites at the campground. Again, this is the biggest campground in the Great Smoky Mountain National Forest. I do like this campground a lot. I come here all the time. I like the Elkmont Campground a lot as well, for different reasons. This one, you get spots on the creek. I'd say this one's a little better, but I don't know. I like Smoky Mountain a lot just because of the hiking right off there, the close proximity to Cherokee, North Carolina, and the elk. A lot of times late at night you'll get just huge groups of elk going through that campground. Elk and turkey as well here. Turkeys and bears. First time all the times I've been here, bear gone through the camp. The Smoke Mountain, I've never seen a bear in the campground, but I did have a run-in with 2 bears while hiking off a trail towards the back. Came across 2 bears, not far away at all. When I saw them, they were down at the creek, maybe trying to catch. They were just on the bank of the creek. I guess maybe they were trying to catch some trout or just drinking water. But they both looked back at me. I was probably about 15 yards away when I first saw them, and then, of course, at that point I made noise so I wouldn't scare them. Well, they heard me. I'm sure they knew I was coming because they just looked back at me for about half a second, then kept doing whatever they were doing, which I was glad. They seemed to have no interest in me at all. It was 2 of them, so I was glad because that was my first ever encounter with bears in the wild. I've had a few since then. All right. Well, again, this is all the individual sites of this campground. Hopefully this video can help you out in choosing a site. Because there are so many to choose from here, hundreds, well over 100. I'll pause this video, and then we'll pick it back up right as we're going up to the group campground. All right, here we are. We're going to finish up, go through the group camp area. To get here, oh, sorry, Lola's tangled up. Move your foot, baby. Okay, come on. To get here, you go right after you just get past the office, the check-in area. Go right, go over the bridge. Then at the stop sign, you'll make a left, and it'll be your first right after you just make the left at the stop sign. It's just past the amphitheater. Decent little uphill drive. Road could use a little upkeep and repairs. Hard to see how beat it up it is with the leaves covering everything. All right, and here we are entering the group area. First thing we see on the left is a trash bin. After that, on the right will be the parking area. And just past the parking area on the right is where the amphitheater is. Can't really see it. Don't know how well you can see it through the trees here. On the left is the bathroom. Water fountain, little washing room. Here's a little trail down to the amphitheater. You can see the benches. Little stage area. Okay, and then ahead on the right, we'll be parking for the first of the group camping areas. These are nice. They're in the forest, nice and kind of secluded, just your group. At least that one was. Here comes number 3. I didn't even see a sign for 1 or 2. Here's number 3, not quite as secluded. I say not quite, not even close to as secluded as, I'm assuming that was 2 back there. I believe there are 4 group sites, so still should be another one. Yep, it's coming up. It'll be on the right. Okay, and up here on the right will be the parking for the 4th group site. Little water fountain there, but it's old. I seriously doubt that works. Up those stairs, I'll bring you to group site 4. Oh, a little Buddha head on the stairs there. I'm assuming that's part of this group. All right, and that's the loop for the group sites, the 4 group sites. And that'll be it for Elkmont Campground. Again, the biggest campground in the Great Smoky Mountains. An excellent campsite. Of course, there's no phone service here. But just outside of here, right at Laurel Falls, the Laurel Falls parking area, you do get cellular service. I'm actually going to go hike that again right now because it's a quick, easy hike. I'll let Lola stay in the van and rest because she's walked a lot today. She'll still want to hike the Laurel Canyons, but she's not allowed to. And I don't want to go that slow. I mean, she'll move at a decent pace, but she wants to stop and sniff everything, so. All right, well, if you guys have a chance to come out to Elkmont Campground, and you're trying to decide a site, I hope this video helped you. Please, please, please give me a like, a thumbs up for this video. Please subscribe, and most importantly, please leave a comment. Let me know if this video, this walkthrough, helped you at all at deciding your site. Let me know how much you like Elkmont Campground or any other place you might want to go. Or just leave a comment and say hi. Anything will do. All right, everyone, I hope you have a great time, a great day. It's a beautiful time of year here, watching all the leaves change color so quickly. And as I like to say, get out, enjoy your travels. Get out, have some fun. Do some hiking, take your kids along with you, bring the family, meet up with some friends. Go take in nature and enjoy what we have while we still have it, because who knows what the future brings. Nothing's guaranteed. Tomorrow's not guaranteed, so enjoy today and hope for tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, make the most fun you can out of that. All right, everyone, have a great day.